Hey there, hi there, it's me, Priscilla B, and welcome to your collective reading. So basically, I'm just going to be doing just basically a general collective reading, and I'm going to find out what's going on. Collective. So I'm going to be using these Oracle Mystical Moments. So let's see what this Oracle Mystical Moment says. These are kind of like subconscious, dreamlike cards. So maybe this is going to help clarify some dreams that you've been having. Okay. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, wow. Okay. So already I can tell that you're kind of like in this space where your observations on like other people are sort of coming like in like a sort of like I feel like there's like an imbalance here, like they're like on a scale, like a scale basis, you might be trying to make sense of people's motivations and choices. Oh yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Wow. So there's definitely an offer coming in. All right, there's something. I feel like somebody is, like you're waiting for someone to sort of like tip the scale more towards the side of like what you are trying to manifest, what you're trying to work on, because you're not seeing a lot of positive feedback from the hard work that you've been trying to achieve. Five of Cups, yeah. A lot of emotional letdown. Like there's not really much movement or much advancement happening. Okay. Um, and we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so you definitely feel tied to something here, but you are still holding a place for your past future self. But it's kind of like now you're in like the present energies of feeling tied to something, and you want to get the support you know you deserve. Three of Swords. So you know you deserve this support when it comes to matters of the heart, but the clarity here, I feel like, is what's lacking because there isn't a lot of clarity. There's wands, there's pentacles, there's cups, there's swords. But what exactly is it that ties this all together and sort of makes sense of it all? Because you're juggling a lot here. You're hoping somebody else, this knight, could help out with a lot of that, but the knight seems to be like, I feel like they're directed in a different direction. Yeah, and that's leaving you emotionally afraid here. Page of Pentacles and Temperance. Yeah, like not all the pieces of the puzzle are fitting together. Even the Seven of Swords. Okay, the World. Yeah. Okay, so the reason for all the pentacles is probably a process that you have of like transformation and manifesting and getting abundance. And the thing is like that's all that's all happening on a very like subconscious level, but in order for it to like fully materialize, I feel like the Temperance card, like all the pieces of the puzzle have to fit together first. Like everything has to come together, and there's pieces missing here, and you're trying to make sense of it with this Five of Cups because you know there's an emotional letdown, and there's a feeling of, I want to say like remorse, not really so much regret, but the Five of Cups is like that feeling of, okay, I know there's emotional abundance out there, but why isn't it manifesting? And I noticed here this like little bubble here, okay, and there's like a fairy in there, there's a woman in there. I feel like she's trying to sort of like pull you out of that emotional discomfort because you're looking at a past reflection of yourself. You're looking at how you were emotionally hurt in the past. And that's what this Three of Swords is about. Okay. That's the Three of Swords are stabbing this heart. Okay. Like you've been hurt. You've been betrayed. Um, but you're still believing in, like, if you link yourself, if you tie yourself to some kind of support here, some kind of passionate creative endeavor, then it will all pay off and it'll all start to make sense. And temperance is the card of patience. So 7 of Swords and the World, yeah, there's definitely a woman here that she might like look at you and say, okay, this is something I can like the lack of clarity here is the clarity, right? It is the perception of reality. And it's all about making sense of someone else has like an agenda or a personal vendetta against you, but that isn't going to affect your pentacles. It's not going to affect your manifestation and your transformation. In fact, it's only going to heighten it even more. So when it does happen, it's even more obvious and more clear that this person or these people lack clarity when it comes to matters of the heart. And that's why you have the World. Because you have this ability to like high frequencies and functionality and higher spiritual consciousness, and you're all about, you know, bringing awareness and realness and truth to very you know, like broken systems, okay? But there are a few factors here. Yeah, 2 of Swords, Queen of Cups, Page of Swords. There's definitely a lot of women here. Not a lot of men, but there's definitely a lot of female presence and female energy here. That's sort of like, what can I sort of change about, you know, yeah, the Lovers. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of women here who are trying to like change the course of your own future and your own endeavors here with the Lovers card. Okay, there's a lot of influence here. 7 of Pentacles, so a lot of your hard work and the labor that you've put into it, okay, and this desire to like sort of make sense of it all is being lost in translation. It's being lost in these sort of karmic energies. 2 of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of women here that are trying to like create their own reality for you. Okay? They don't want you to, these energies, they don't want you to have like control over your own life because they lack control in their lives. That's where that clarity is coming from. That's where the Swords is here, because you're trying to live your own life through spiritual awareness, through spiritual consciousness, through higher powers as they may be. Like, you know, you like were chosen for a reason to like go down this life path, but then there's other energies that sort of want to derail your plans for your future. So I'm getting a really strong sense of like past, present, future here. And your past is about how you have to, or how you've had to juggle a lot of unfairness when it comes to material wealth and finances. And so you work very hard at creating a more emotionally centered base, because you know you can't control the finances. You can't control like what family you were born into. You can't control like who your father is, who your mother is, and how they contribute to your life financially. But I think what you can do is allow yourself room to feel your feelings and be in that energy and feel out where you feel safest and most secure and most supported with the 9 of Wands, versus where you feel the most brokenhearted, where you feel the most you know, for lack of better words or terms, stabbed through the heart. Okay. There's like a faceless woman here, because this person isn't supposed to have a face. Like, they're not the face of the family. They're not the face. They're not the figure that everyone looks to for advice and clarity and emotional support. They're someone who like lacks in a lot of that. But then there's you, where you're like the world here, like you're making sense of it all, you're bringing it all together. And that brings forth your future of the Lovers. That brings forth a whole new layer of the Seven of Pentacles. There's like luck here, there's abundance here, and then there's the Two of Swords. Again, it's like blind faith, or, you know, someone here who's trying to convince you that they own you or they control you, or you really need to control yourself and own up to your own beliefs and your own truer self. Okay, so there's a sense here where like a woman definitely she lacked autonomy in her life, and now through a various degree and amount of like karmic cycles that are like very destructive, tries to sort of like, you kind of wants she wants you to inherit are her problems, right? Okay. Queen of Cups and the Page of Swords. You're listening for the truth here. You're remembering yourself before you even met any of these people, before these people were even on your timeline, and what your future holds for you. Because your past is really trying to connect the dots here. It's trying to piece the pieces together of the puzzle here. And it's like, okay, you have a lot of emotional intelligence. Okay, that is your future self. That was always your past self, is you were always searching for that clarity. You were always searching for the truth, and you were always searching for the answers. Okay, that's how you got your abundance to begin with. That's how you ended up to where you are today. Okay, with this World card energy. But now that you're in this current energy and you're in this current phase and this current stage in your life, okay, you've kind of like already found yourself. You kind of already know who you are and what you want. So there's no really need anymore to suggest that you're going to learn anything new from these people, from these energies. Okay, like the faceless woman, I think she's more I mean, it is clear that it's a metaphor for this woman has no real say in how you live your life. She has a real control over your life. Okay, that's kind of like the conception here in the misinformed opinion of others, like that they have an opinion or they have a say in how you live your life. But that's not really the truth, because you're the Queen of Cups. You're the emotionally stable one. You're the one being patient. You're the one waiting out this timeline of events, because you already kind of know what's going to happen. You kind of already have that clarity you need. Okay. So, like pretty much that being said, is like you already know what your future holds for you, but you're in that middle ground stage where you're like, well, I know who I was in my past before I met any of these people, before I encountered any of this energy, and I need to go back to that. But with my future knowledge and information I have now, and now I have even more, like, pretty much Pentacles, like pretty much more abundance, more self-awareness, more emotional stability. You have more of everything here. You have more abundance here. And that's like the problem, right? Is that these other energies want you to have less. They want you to have, to deal with the same crap. Look, the world card just came out again. Okay, there's your synchronicity. Okay, you're in this safe place. Okay, you're seeing things very clear here. You're working very hard on like meditation and spirituality and transformation and all these beautiful aspects of yourself, all these beautiful parts of yourself are coming together or have already come together. And you see how these other women or men energies around you that don't have this mindset, don't have this clarity, don't have this abundance, don't have this self-mastery and this self-love, and they continuously try to weave their way in to your life. Okay, but they have no grounds. Like they have no legs to stand on. Okay. Yeah, and the reason for this is the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Because the betrayal, the Knight of Wands wants you to know, like, the betrayal has already happened. They've already stabbed you in the back. They've already left you for dead. They've already made it very clear to you how they want to treat you. And that's what the Knight of Wands brings in, this masculine energy. He brings in the truth. He brings in the passionate, creative, real truth and real reality of the situation. He wants you to see, like, this is what these people do to you when you're around them. This is what these people do to you because they have nothing better to do with their time. And there is a long list of evidence. There's a long list of proof. And you don't even really need evidence or really need proof. Like, everyone is completely already, totally, completely aware that you contain this beautiful, massive amount of love and care and just transformative energy. And that's what they try to hide from the world. It's almost like they literally, it's almost like they literally try to keep you, like, physically from being out in the world. Because they think, like, that for them is, like, that's how they can control you, right? And it's a lot about control here. There's a lot of energy, feelings of control here. But the Knight of Wands is like, you have this just, like, massive creative higher consciousness and awareness ability that makes it, like, kind of seem almost like ironic that what they've done to keep you sort of, like, sheltered or hidden from the world has actually opened up the world to you and actually allowed the world to actually fully see you and the truth. Even though they try to hide it, they can't really hide the truth. And that is really what, like, pisses them off the most, right? Is, like, when they're, like, physically in your presence, all they want to do is try to hide the truth. All they want to try to do is create a narrative of toxicity, and then it's like, well, now you just Ten of Swords me, but look at this. I'm gonna Ten of Cups you. Right? It's like you're playing with the wrong player. You're playing with the wrong person. Like, you're way out of their league, and they know it. And it makes them so angry knowing that they have no credibility. But the Ten of Cups is really what you do every day. It's like you show up every day. So, yeah. So, like, basically, you know, they are like, oh, look, I got so-and-so, right? They're like, oh, I got you. I betrayed you. Ha, ha, ha. Like, I got one up on you. And you're like, did you, though? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't, right? They can't control your narrative. They can't control your timeline. They can't control your story. Okay? And this is your story. This is your truth. The Ten of Cups. Okay? The emotional fulfillment of love, of family, of loyalty, of care, of devotion, of kindness. Okay? Two parents who love their child more than anything else in the world. They cannot destroy this. Okay? They cannot control this. Okay? So each lesson, each encounter you have with them is a lesson. The universe is like basically telling you, like, they want to destroy you so, so, so much. But they can't destroy reality. They can't change reality. They keep trying to. They keep trying to distort your image of yourself, trying to distort your reality, trying to change your life and your narrative into this, obviously very dark, very sad, very depressing storyline, story arc. But this is just their like warped perception that they live in with themselves. That's why they project it onto you. But you reject that projection and you embrace this. Okay? And then we have the star energy, and we have temperance again, and we have the Queen of Cups again, and the Two of Swords again, and now we have some justice. Okay? You're holding all the cards. Okay? Yeah. The star energy. Okay, the star, she can feed beauty and love into others. But first, she has to feel beauty and love within. She has to follow her true north. She has to follow her true path. She has to follow her true self. And that's what they want to take away from you, is they don't want you to have self. They don't want you to have identity. They don't want you to have existence. They want you to feel like you are just walking through space and time without any true purpose or any true potential or any true merit. And that is just not the case. Because every time you I want to say, like, encounter these beings, your light brings out this, like, truth that they are only there to remind you of your star energy, of your star quality. And we have the temperance energy, creating rainbows, creating butterflies, creating magic here. Your guardian angel protecting you. And yeah, it's not gonna always be easy because they don't have this energy within them and they don't know how to love or protect you the way you know you deserve to be loved and protected. But that's what the temperance card is there. To remind you of what you deserve and to be patient with yourself and to do your self-mastery and your self-love work and really start to care more deeply and understand more deeply of what your purpose really is, which is to be a light to guide others, to be that wish upon a star creature, like, to be that, fairy godmother or that beautiful light in the darkness. Because that's what draws people to you. And it's easy for you to, like, question that reality when you're dealing with so many people who are so personally close to you attacking you, right? You're like, shouldn't it be like the opposite way around? Like, shouldn't people closest to me, like, be loving and caring and supportive? And then people who barely know me at all, it would make more sense that they would be, like, less open to being kind to me. But it's really like the universe is like really basically like, actually, no. I know, right? It's funny, right? It sucks. No. But it's more like the reason why these people are so close to you is so you can keep them far away. Because as soon as you open your door to them, as soon as you let them in to see your light, as soon as you show them the beauty within, they stab you in the back. Because they have nothing better to do with their time here on earth. They're not thinking about their soul. They're not thinking about their higher consciousness. They're not thinking about their spiritual path. They are thinking about themselves and how they can feel better by destroying others' lives. And that's why justice has to come in and save the day. And that's why the Queen of Cups comes in again. It's like, remember that good old-fashioned emotional intelligence? Remember that good old-fashioned term consciousness? Remember that good old-fashioned movie Pinocchio? like, it's like, what reality are we living in? Because I'm pretty sure we're supposed to create a beautiful, loving, caring, supportive world, but I'm not getting that. So maybe I should try somewhere else. Maybe I should go somewhere else where people are celebrating life and people are happy and people are loving and supportive. Because right now I'm not really getting a lot of that. Right now I'm getting a lot of selfish agendas. Yeah. So maybe I should get some justice. Maybe I should call my good old friend Justice, right? Another guardian angel, right? And then you have the Two of Swords, another angel. Okay? It's time for you to put up your boundaries, to safeguard your heart, to safeguard those you love and care about. You don't even need to be looking these people in the face to be like, no, my boundaries are going back up. You mess with the wrong, mess with the wrong soul here. I don't know what you believe in, right? But collectively, I feel like we're all kind of dealing with this lower consciously dark energy that it's okay to want to explore our subconscious. It's okay to want to explore our unconscious. It's okay to want to study these things and understand ourselves more and grow more and learn more. But while I'm doing that, I'm also starting to notice that there's a lot of attacks on my life, on my family, on my well-being, on my family's well-being. And I'm also kind of noticing that there's a lot of toxic, distorted feminine energy that is trying to change the course of my life and then take it down a very negative, dark place and dark space that I'm just not willing to go down. But thanks for trying. Thanks for that. Because they themselves are in a dark place and they don't know how to get out of that dark space. So now they want to drag you right in there with them. And you're like, no, I'm going to Two of Swords that shit. No, thank you. I'm good up here with my butterflies and my rainbows and my flowers. But you have fun with that. And if they it's so funny because if they just sat down and they just did the work and they just took the time to do their spiritual work, to do their light work, to do their shadow work, to really study and understand themselves deeper and more, then they wouldn't have any time to attack you because they would be studying themselves and they would be practicing self-mastery and they would be practicing self-love. So that's where you come in and you start to bring in that awareness of okay, I see what's happening here. And then you take the next step. You take the next step toward future evolution and future metamorphosis and future transformation. And you go on that journey. But not on one of losing the clarity and losing the ability for you to live your life. the way you intended. Okay? And that's where the Nine of Wands comes in again. Major synchronicity here. And again, this is like you're tying yourself, like you're threading and weaving yourself toward the life that you want here. Got like the lioness energy here. You have the passion, you have the creativity, you have the fortitude to move forward on your time, in your way, when you're ready. Not when someone else decides, not when someone else says, oh, I know. Oh, it looks like so-and-so can't control their own life. Oh, it looks like so-and-so doesn't even know what's going on around them. Actually, I do know what's going on around me, and I'm just kind of appalled that this is people's reaction and how demonstrative and destructive and negative it is, and how it just makes me so sick to my stomach. Three of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Strength. Yeah, a lot of strength and endurance here is going to be what ultimately breaks you free from the destructiveness. And it's like a full circle moment. We started with the Two of Pentacles and we're ending with the Two of Pentacles. What you decide to juggle, what you decide to weigh in on, what you decide is your priority, that's up to you. Nobody else but you. And it's interesting how it kind of like all weaves together, because it's like some people are willing to take extreme measures of destruction and let's just destroy it all. Let's just make it all negative. Let's just make it all completely hopeless. And then there's you. And you're like, actually, no, I don't think so. Right? Nine of Swords. You've broken free from the swords that were stabbing you in the back. The people who were taking advantage of you. Not because you were allowing them to take advantage of you. It's because the universe wanted you to see what they will do when given power. When the universe hands them a gift, what do they do with that gift? They use it to destroy the person who gave them the gift to begin with. They use it to hurt the person who created life. Why do I say this? Because of the Empress, the creator of life, the mother archetype. So when distorted feminine energy, or masculine, because let's face it, there's definitely distorted masculine here, Six of Wands, Three of Pentacles, there's a man who's like hard at work, but really he's just like super pessimistic and super depressing and not fun to work with and not fun to be around. And then there's this Six of Wands, this creative, passionate lion master to go with your lioness energy, right? That's kind of like the driving like energy that you need to keep going here. Okay? And the strength. Okay? Your person will find you. You'll find your person. You guys will be in alignment together. The passion is there. The creativity is there. The strong, powerful energy you need to keep you going, it's there. It's your driving force. But first you have to deal with some of these distorted energies that are trying to keep you from your creativity, that are trying to keep you from your passion. And that's why the Empress energy is so important here, because creator of life, mother archetype, you deserve to be treated like an empress, and you deserve to feel that energy within you and feel safe and feel loved and feel protected. But you're also dealing with energies that currently are trying to change the outcome of the future that you set forth to go on. The path that you chose to go on and you chose to be a part of is in constant flux, because these energies really want to distort you, and they want to cause harm to you, and they want to cause harm to your, loved ones. The Empress is the mother. So, maybe you have children. Maybe this is literal, maybe you have maybe you have children that, you're trying to protect here and you're trying to help grow and help teach valuable lessons in life. And here comes a whole big group and swarm of distorted women that are jealous of you, that are manipulative, that aren't seeing clearly, that are stuck in their own cycle of grief because they feel like they've failed at this Empress energy. So now they have to like make you fail too in their eyes. You'll never fail. You can never fail. Can never fail because you don't listen to those distorted women's options and their opinions and their timelines, and you put up your boundaries and you're like, get the hell away from me, get the hell away from my kids. I've got zero respect for you. And they don't like that. Too bad. So sad. So anyways, that is pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else other than, you staying strong within yourself, loving yourself, being devoted to the work that you're doing and the light that you're creating and all those beautiful things. Valentine's Day just passed. So, following that creative, passionate side to yourself, the sparks of light within yourself, being drawn to that spark of creativity and that light. It's a beautiful thing. We got some metaphorical loves cards for you. Healing happiness quietly. Yeah, there's your path. You're healing and you're happy while you're healing. You're taking this time to heal because you just have been going through a lot of attacks. A lot of attacks were just made and you're like, I really don't want to deal with this right now. So you're just quietly taking care of yourself. Release the need to fix everything. I know as a mom that can be really hard to do, but you're already working on yourself. You're already practicing healing yourself. And through that, you'll learn what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. And your pain has purpose. Okay? So that pain that was caused to you because these distorted feminines were attacking you, it's real. And now you need the time to heal and you need the time to process it. And you'll get there. It's all going to work out. There's a lot of love supporting you. And there's a lot of beautiful healing energy happening right now. So trust. The universe has a plan for you. And coven the power of sisterhood. Okay? And I also have here for you the full moon. Harvest the fruits of your hard work. Okay? And you are going to be harvesting the fruits of your hard work. You've done a beautiful job so far, and you're going to keep doing a beautiful job. And there's lots of love here and lots of support here for you. All right, take care now. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light always. Bye.